from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's midnight in the Marshaverse, starring Marsha Warfield and her two sons, Stephen Roberts and Skillz Hudson as the problem child.
Good morning. Hi, welcome back to Midnight in the Marshaverse. Hey, I'm Marsha, and this is the time we get together to just chill out and have some dialogue at the witching hour between yesterday and today. Or you can watch anytime you want to, but we like to get into that groove, this after midnight chill, because everybody don't go to bed at 8 o'clock. Some of us, we just now waking up. And so if that's your vibe, this is your place. As usual, we're going to start with our chill methods, our cannabis and cognac, and then we're going to have I have a little dialogue well, it's not a dialogue if it's just me. I have a little monologue that I'm going to do, and then I get to introduce my guest. I'm so excited that this first guest, after our little hiatus, because I got a lot of stuff to talk to you about. We've been really busy. But our first guest back is one of my oldest friends in this business. I don't even remember when I met her, but you know her and you love her, and we're very lucky that she agreed to stay up with us and spend a little time. Anna Maria Horsford. Y'all just get ready for that. We're going to have a good time. But I wanted to start with, as we usually do, a little cannabis and cognac. To start with the cannabis, y'all know I like to vape. I don't like the smell and all that. I like to do my shit, be discreet, and if you just don't know what my eyes look like after I have indulged, then you just don't know that I do this sort of thing. But I really don't care if you do know. So this is a church battery, and this is a new cartridge that I got. It's called Locals Only. It's a Nevada company, and it has this bright yellow color, and it's called Super Boof, and it's liquid diamonds. I have never tried this. This experiment includes you. So here we go. So far, that's a little scary cloud, but we're going to try to ride it out. Don't worry about it. This is my cognac glass my wife gave me because she said jelly jars was not classy. Anyway, this is a little Courvoisier VSOP. We're just going to have a splash. That's a splash. And I'm going to have a little sip. Here's to you. If you're indulgent, please join me. If not, do whatever it takes to make you feel really, really relaxed and cool. This is my drink of the week. I usually have two if I have a show. So if I have a show, I have a drink while I'm on stage, and then I have one here with y'all. I'm cool. That's all I need. So now that we're back, those of you who've been around and know who I am, I have founded my own religion because I did not find a religion that spoke to me internally in my soul. So I founded my own, the Church of Jesus. And I found when I've been traveling and when I work clubs, a lot of the clubs I work are segregated to an extent. They're mostly Black or mostly white. And I found when I went back and did some of the Black clubs, the overwhelming assumption that we were all Christian and we were all going to participate in the rituals. God is greater than that. You're supposed to know what to say. Okay, I'm like, okay, I agree. It's good with me. But that's not the expected response. And I've actually seen posts and stuff to say if you don't give the correct response, you ain't really black. So I just wanted to ask my community to understand that many of us are not Christian. There are many of us of all different faiths, and it's kind of weird to expect that we're going to participate in your rituals all the time. I just said it was a couple of sentences. Well, honey, you'd have thought I had poured holy water on a demon. They went off and started calling me all kind of names, everything but a child of God. But one woman was so upset, she called me a manly she devil, and she was really pissed. And I was like, wow, how did she know? So I made a a TikTok about it. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Y'all take a look. I just got called a manly she devil by a Christian woman online. She was mad because I said I'm not a Christian woman. I couldn't believe she said that. I was like, how does she know? That's what my wife calls me. And I don't like it. Because I think it's funny, when people play my God's bigger than your God and, my God can beat your God up kind of games. And everybody who doesn't agree with them is demonic and unholy. So I have fun with it. And so a lot of people were saying I should have it made into a T-shirt. Well, have a T-shirt made. But see, I think that the problem we deal with right now in this world, with this whole, everybody is concerned about where the world is going. It's going where it's predicted to go because nature, now listen to me, nature never intended for sons to have dominion over their mothers. When you have that, when you have everything oriented toward the father, you have eliminated the life givers. You've subjugated the creators, those who give life, who have it innately, naturally, who in every religion has a creation story, and when they have a patriarchal overview, they always have where some man with magic, male god with magic, breathes life into human beings. It's the religion is the that we know of seems to be the backlash against not being able to create life. So you create a creator in your image. But she who is us, the women, she gives life naturally. She creates life in her image. Male and female makes she them. She is your creator, God. And so a belief in that in my own little universe turns everything you know upside down. Because everything you know is built on that lie that men can create life and therefore should be in charge and make all the decisions. It just does not make sense. And I've told the story about going to the Wright Museum and having them walk us through and saying that kings in West Africa had all the power. They ruled everything. There was nobody who could challenge the king but his mother. Because as we've all heard mother say, boy, you ain't gonna never get too big to talk to me any way you feel like it. And once you bring back that reverence for not only your creator, your vessel to immortality, if you want to extend your bloodline, you have to go through a creator. She has to choose you. She is the one who is responsible for our continuing evolution. And so even when you get down to, and I'm getting, a little high, so we're going to get a little deep. Even when you get into last year's election and you had a black woman or a woman of color, however you want to diminutize, whatever, make her small because those things you have deemed to be lesser than white Jesus male worshiping. So when you diminish the life giver and lose that perspective and make everything male, you've cut out all the things that give you eternal life. The fact that you will have children who carry your DNA, who will preserve you, but you have to go through the mother. And then you have to choose a mother for your legacy. Last year's election came down to a brown woman, a black woman versus a white man. And every time this particular white man has run against a woman, he has won. When he ran against a man, he lost. It's pretty clear that it's the woman uh, uh, fear that is the horror that is motivating everything that's happening right now. That fear of women and a fear of black women. And so it rallies people to vote against their interests. There's no question this was a better candidate than anybody would have been a better candidate than Donald Trump. We've known that since before he was talking, you fired, you fired. Get the fuck out. Nobody paid any attention to Donald Trump. And so, and there is now this effort to eliminate DEI. And as long as they keep people focusing on race, they forget that misogyny is far older and it's far more entrenched. They didn't have to or necessarily uh, uh, lay out a foundation for how to minimize women. Women were already minimized. They were not. We were not included in anything. And when you focus on male, making the male the dominant and the man, and you're not a man, and push that, it helps to recruit you to the side of the people who believe that only men should be in charge and that women should not be consulted at all. It's a fear of the same kind as racism, where you're afraid these people will dominate you. You're afraid these women will dominate you. So you must suppress them to the point they don't get that idea. And you can never do that. You think you can, but it creates an ongoing battle. Had Kamala Harris won, we'd be looking at a whole different future. There is no question about that. We'd be looking at a much different future where people wouldn't be saying, "Oh, I don't want people to have health care. Oh, I don't want people." They wouldn't be saying those things because the guy who is trying to rig the game so all of those policies will go into place, he's very unpopular on those things. Nobody wants that shit. And so we voted our prejudices, but those prejudices are man-made. And they're man-made through my industry, through the news, through entertainment, through books. It's reinforced all the time. So I imagine a whole universe where that's not true. And I can do it because I have an imagination. I can make shit up, just like every religion, every doctrine, everything we see, every script, everything is all somebody made that shit up. The car you drive, the bus you, everything, somebody made that shit up. So I figured I could make my own because the words that we speak are the most powerful tool we have. Everything we do is laid out in somebody's blueprint, and we can pass it on, and it's still from the Bible to the Magna, this to the that, to the tribal. Everything starts here. So let's start here. Let's create If Willy Wonka can have his own universe, I can create my own universe where women are in charge and where it's natural. And it allows and helps and insists that men have to be manly and strong if they want to exist in a matriarchy. Ha ha, you better be. So once you turn things around and start thinking about it from that point of view, you might get to some different conclusions and some peace of mind, you know. So that's my offering for today, for tonight. Think about it. Don't think about it, but it's how I feel. And I probably had some more notes and stuff to tell y'all about, but I can't wait any longer. I have to introduce my guest. Before I do that, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine who I've known almost as long, if not longer. This young man, uh, he's going to tell you who he is, but he is a shaman. He is my friend, and he understands communication from the spirit. You will listen to Chokai Kalekoa.
Hey there, this is Chokai, and back in the mid-'80s when I first moved to Hollywood, I met the incredible Marsha Warfield at the Improv. I was really green back then, wide-eyed, and Marsha was kind of a touchstone of clarity and simplicity in the midst of all the cray-cray. She was like a big sister in a way, always kind, always real, and crazy as hell. Not too long after I was there, I did land a gig as Randall Adams on A Different World, and that kicked off quite the little journey. Fast forward to now, and I've traded all that for Bali, where I live now in the middle of a rice paddy working as a traditional healer. I'm a witch and a life coach, and I'll be actually launching my own podcast diving deeper into transformation and magic and all the things that really matter. But in the meantime, I cannot wait to share more with you as I chat with Marsha at some point on her podcast. So definitely tune in. I'm looking forward to it.
So hey, Kalekoa, Chokai. That's another one of my sons. I collect sons. I believe the world needs to be mothered. And there are a lot of people who want to be mothered. I can't really mother them because I have never had children, but I can TT you. So I'm like the auntie that you live with because you can't live with your mother for some reason. Anyway, now, drum roll, please. Known this woman for longer than we are old, and I'm so happy she's here tonight. I hope you give a really big round of applause to my friend, Anna Maria Horsford.
Hey!
Hey, woman, how you doing?
I am doing just wonderful.
Well, you look wonderful.
Well, thank you. You know, I had to get dressed up for you.
Okay.
I tell you, and I'm going to tell you where we met.
Okay.
I was chasing you at the airport in Miami. You were running from us. It was a group of people. We were going for some celebrity mess, and it was about 4 or 5 or 6 of us. And you probably saw all these black people running after you. And you got on the elevator, and I said, I'm going to get her. Because I had never seen you. I saw you in person. I said, oh, and then I pushed the elevator, and there you were. I said, hello. How are you? You know, people say, oh, they stop. I said, no, black people are bashful, okay? And they don't like talking to a bunch of people they don't know first, because you don't know how we going to react. And we have been ace boom coon since.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, really? You know, when the whole group of people come, you don't know what they want.
I know, right?
And when it was early on in night court and all that stuff, I wasn't used to none of that.
Oh, I know that. I know that. You were so sweet once we stopped and said, hi, how are you?
Okay, but I don't know what do they want.
I know. But the weird part was everybody started thinking I was you. So they would stop and say, yeah, I know you. I see you on night court. I said, no, that's Marsha. So I said, well, we got the same energy. Okay.
Well, my mother adopted you.
Yes. Sweetest lady in the world.
She loved you, and she
Yes,
was
she
go get her. Go tell her. Bring her over here.
No, really, and I tell you, I appreciate everybody who I met then because I was green. I was so happy to be in Hollywood, and I know how it works. So everybody who I'd seen on TV, I just it was like a dream come true. Because we see you in this little box, and then all of a sudden you standing there, and I said, "Oh, I'm in their circle. I'm in their circle." And I loved your introduction because the older we get, the more personal religion gets. And you start understanding all the things you didn't understand when you were young, all the things mommy said about the company you keep and the this and that, the other. It didn't make sense then. But if you're fortunate enough to live long, you realize, oh, that's what she meant. So you do get wiser.
Yes.
If you're good, you get wiser as we stay on this side of the planet.
Well, we've been doing good. So what year was that that you were talking about when you were just happy to be in Hollywood?
86.
86.
I'm still happy to be here, to tell you the truth now.
Okay.
I'm happy.
Let's get in the Wayback Machine.
Yes. Okay.
You're starting in the business. Where are you? What are you doing? How old are you?
I'm old. I'm old, baby. I am going into the 8th generation or whatever. I'm mid-70s.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm 71.
All right. And I came here. I started in New York. And I started doing movies in New York. And the TV movies. And I was working on a production. I went to Office Temp, and I got a job at a TV station. This is long before I believed it. And they sent me to a TV station with the most eccentric Black man called Ellis Hazlett. This is the time that if you were Black, you could only be on 2 TV shows. One was called Black Journal, which was a documentary, or Soul, and his name was Ellis Hazlett, and I came on as Office Temp, and I just loved it, and he just loved me, and he said, "You're smart." I said, "How do you know I'm smart?" He said, "Because you ask a lot of questions." He said, "Dumb people don't ask questions; they just go along with it," and I ended up staying 13 years.
Okay,
but the bottom line was, every Black person who was in the entertainment business had to come through us.
Okay, I remember.
Yes.
Not just entertainers. There were poets and
exactly,
and intellectuals and politicians and
everybody. So they had to come through us, and it's almost like God gave me a prep, because you didn't know. I mean, I was just happy. I'd just gotten back from Stockholm.
Wait a minute. Why were you in Stockholm?
Well, I went to find myself. Okay. Because I was
going stood out in Stockholm. That's a good place to start.
Yes.
Like some of us would have went to Jamaica. Well, I ain't gonna find myself. Everybody look like me.
No. I used to look at the Ingmar Bergman movies. And so I felt this kinship to Ingmar Bergman and all those strange movies. And I said, I think I need to go there. And of course, my mother didn't even say anything until the night I'm going to the airport. And I said, well, why didn't she try to stop me before? Because I don't want to go now. But I had to. I bought the ticket. The suitcases were going. I said, now why didn't she say something before? And she said, Anna, suppose you die. I said, well, I guess they can send the body back to you. I don't know. Don't wait until I'm going to the airport. Because now I'm
dying.
Yeah. So then I went and I came back. I stayed 10 and a half months and came back because they wanted me to do the topless ballet. And I said, oh, no. I said, I got those hanging titties. I can't do no topless ballet now. So Jeffrey Holder's brother said, "Oh, we can put ice on them." I said, "I don't think ice is gonna elevate them up."
We ain't got that much ice.
No. And came back and got this office temp job with this black gay man who was the most brilliant human being and who loved black culture, who loved black people. Okay, so we had everybody on, from Louis Farrakhan to Sidney Poitier. I mean, anybody you can think of. George Jackson, who got killed, his brother got killed in the courthouse, and he got killed when he was escaping. I think I'm getting the story mixed up, but anyway, we had.
Was that the Angela Davis story?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And Ellis said, "Call the mother and tell her we want to interview her because we need to know what that is for a black woman to lose 2 of her sons to this system." And so I got I guess a speed up run of all black culture then, and an appreciation for this. We had a special with Alvin Ailey. Alvin Ailey had never had a special. Now you think about all this brilliance we had. What I learned was you can still be brilliant whether white people saw your talent or not. That's the most powerful thing that comes out of it. Nothing stops you from getting to know yourself. I don't care. Racism, don't let racism distract you from your power.
What I keep seeing that people miss is they always say, we don't stick together. We don't have, and I'm like, we wouldn't be where we are in this business right now if we hadn't stuck together. Like everybody pulls somebody with them. I don't know nobody who ain't pulled people with them, and not just in front of the camera, but in all of the other parts of the industry where you realize that when you start realizing you have a place in it, that they have a place in it too. She's, got a great fashion eye. This guy's he's good with the numbers. Yeah. And so we have brought so many people into this business in a relatively short time. Because when I started, if I was on camera, I was the only black person in the building.
Right. Exactly.
And from that to now, I walk on sets and everybody's black. From the writers, the producers, the craft service, everybody is black. And they take it for granted. And it always makes me stop and cry.
Well, yeah, they don't know the history. They don't know the history. And I'm going to call a name. They supposedly cancel. I don't cancel no black person. Okay. Cosby, who got the first black men in the union, when he was doing those Jello commercials, he'd walk on the set and he said, "Why do we need 200 people sitting here for this 60-second spot?" They said, "Well, he picks up the wire, this one." He said, "Oh, really?" He said, "All you do is pick up the rope and plug it in the wall." They said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, let's take a little break. Why don't you get a black guy to do that? If that's all he got to do, so and so." And he said, "I'll come back from lunch when y'all find somebody." And the man that the first one got in the union said he had no clue what they were talking about. They said, "You want a job?" And came in. Okay. Yeah. And again, we missed the story. Part of it, I think what we have to do when the people talk about we don't stick together, that's the biggest fallacy and lie. What we have to do is document.
Yes.
Documentation is the most important thing because you see how people want to change history.
Girl, if we change the narrative, you change history.
Yep.
Project 2025, they've been writing that since it was some had another name, Contract for America, whatever they had called it. And they've been writing, but they had that blueprint.
Yes. It doesn't.
So that once you get to that point, boom.
Yeah. We got
to write our stories.
Yeah.
And we have to be the keepers of our stories. We have to bring back that reverence for the people who tell the stories.
Right.
Those are the historians. They were the
people. Who keeps the story? Your grandmama. See, a lot of black people didn't tell the horrors that they went through. Did not tell you what they went through because they didn't want to contaminate your brain.
Right.
we still believed in the Jesus. When you were talking before, I was going to say, now, as you know, Reverend Nike used to say, we all don't worship the same God now, okay? Because your God told you that you are worthy, that you are a human being, that you're fabulous, that you're brilliant. That their God didn't tell them that, okay?
Your God was on the boat that you chained me to and brought me here and told me that was my God too.
Right. Because you took away mine. You took away mine.
You told me that this same God that told you to come get me and me and bring me away from and lay over here and piss and shit for months. This is my God now. What's he gonna do for me?
And said you can't use the word hate. You can't use the word hate. You can't hate. All of that is fine, but just get to know who your mama is, get to know who your grandmother is. Ask your grandmother right before she goes, because that's when they tell you the story.
Write that down.
Write it down.
We also have to be aware of what we do.
Yeah.
And that this business is a propaganda arm of white supremacy. And if you don't watch out, they will make you a cog in this machine.
Yeah.
And against your will. So you have to always be aware of what the opportunities are, how you can maximize, how you can protect your identity and your
you have to know what price you're willing to sell your spirit for. Okay. You have to know the price. If you ain't willing to, things came up. I said, oh no, I don't think I can do that. And somebody said, really? I said, no, it's not my brand. Talking show service. That's not my brand.
The power of no.
The power of no. The power of no.
But you have to know you have that agency. I come from a time when people had to make signs and go marching to proclaim their own manhood. I am a man. I am a human being. I am somebody. These were movements that people did not have the agency to feel that, or they felt it but couldn't express it. There was a penalty.
They felt
be paid if you expressed it.
Right.
And so now that everybody has this voice, the revolution is upon us because once you realize that,
people are still scared to open their mouths. See, let me say this. The voice that got awakened in you, that made you come here, that made you say, I'm going to do this, whether 5 people in the audience or not. I remember seeing you at the now they call it Nate Holden Theater. It was Homeboy. You did something that Magic presented. It was a bunch of comedians and you were there.
Oh yeah, at the
I forgot the name of the theater. What's his name?
Stewart, Ebony Showcase Theater.
And you were hilarious. Somebody whispered something in your ear many years before you got to that stage. You know, when people really, for you to get up there and tell your joke and say, oh shucks, oh now who is that? We didn't know. We always had the Chitlin Circuit. We always had.
And we should praise that and understand just how wonderful and deep.
Yes. So when people make up those, I said, no, redefine that for me, because I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Okay, when you say we don't stick together.
Yeah,
that's a lie. It's a lie.
Our job now.
Yeah.
As matriarchs, you know,
to correct
tell the story. Yeah. And to make them understand. The way I feel about it, you know, is I see these young people and they're brilliant and they're passionate and sometimes they go a little bit too far and you just want to come here. But the first thing you want to do is just you know how special you are. You are amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's my mission
to them by talking to them, because people want to put you on a pedestal. No. I'm here. God gave me the gift so I can pass it on to you. Let me whisper something in your ear. Okay, there's a place for you. Really? Yeah. Yes. Just by seeing you.
Yeah. Your dreams are your blueprint for your life.
Exactly.
And it's printed on your soul.
Yes.
You follow that, you cannot fail, because you cannot fail at being you.
Right.
That's all we are, is who we are.
Yes.
And so but we put so many obstacles in between people realizing that, and we don't celebrate that in them.
Yeah.
You are special, whatever it is you got.
Don't get distracted by anybody else's reality. Please don't do that. Don't tell me when people say, "Oh, you before your time." I said, "No, no, no. My God wouldn't have made that mistake. He wouldn't have made that mistake. If he could create all this and created me, he put me here at the right time."
Okay.
My path
I
is supposed to
agree
cross yours.
that we, that's our time, our position. I also know that I could talk to you for hours.
Oh Lord, okay, we ready to go home now. But let's talk how much I love your talk show. The way, that was wonderful.
I tried,
Yes.
but I'm glad I had the experience. I've had a hell of a career.
Yes. Yes.
But this gives me a little of that fulfillment, to be able to sit and talk to you and over cocktails or not cocktails and just chill. This is I'm doing okay today,
Yes.
I'm feeling good.
Fine, baby. You're doing
Are
just
you feeling good about where you are and how you do?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I feel wonderful. I feel wonderful because I didn't know anybody was going to be interested in my big old butt. This long in life. It's long in life, okay?
Okay, well, I'm sure they're going to be interested longer.
Yes, yes. But it's a good feeling to know that we can still touch people. You know what I mean? Outside the people that owe you money and stuff like that, we can still reach out and touch somebody.
Yeah. I don't let people owe me money. If you owe me money, if you owe me money and you don't pay me, that's what it costs to get rid of you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't need you in my life.
Yeah.
You failed that test, so
that's good. That's
but
good.
my sons are both comedians and they love you with a passion.
Well, thank
So
you.
if you sit here for a few minutes, I would love to introduce them to you.
Please do.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to introduce my older son. He takes after his father, but he's still my son. So say hello to my son, Stephen Roberts.
Hey, hi. Look just like your daddy. Just like
I get that all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Boy, it is so nice to get to meet you.
Thank you.
I can't tell you how the two people that I used to howl at when you guys were on TV, howl like on the floor, giggling, both of you two. I would never have believed that I was going to get to be my mom's son, nor get to meet you and have you both in the same room.
Your auntie Anna.
I'm telling
you. Go. Auntie and TT, and here you go. Now let me bring your brother out. He's chomping at the bit.
Yes.
And so, Anna, I want you to meet my youngest son. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's working at Jimmy Kimmel's Open with for Lunel, and he just got off stage, and he's run over here to be on camera and meet you. Say hello to my son, Skillz Hudson.
Hey, how are you, darling?
Hey, Mom.
Hey, you forget to turn your camera around again.
Okay, he can't remember everything now.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, okay. Open up the screen. Okay, all right, we got it, Mr. Hudson.
So, you have a question, Stephen?
Yeah, I would like to hear Anna's favorite Marsha and Anna Maria Horsford story. You've got to have like a good story of when you guys got in trouble or something.
Oh, I thought you meant me. I have a favorite story that I still tell many. What year did you do the talk show?
91, 92.
Okay, 91, 92. I was on her talk show.
Yeah.
And she asked me a question. And this was a memory from when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And my mother was shocked. She said, I didn't know you remembered. I said, I was a little fast for a little girl. And my mother didn't want to say you can't do certain things because men will, molest you or rape you or something like that. So she said, Anna, you can't jump on men. Ask them to, to carry you on their back and stuff after 3 o'clock. I said, why? She said, because little girls smell after 3. So then, Marsha, you remember this story?
No, but I've been enraptured.
So then when the bell would ring and it was a man at the door that I probably liked or was going to ask for a ride, instead of me saying, oh, I can't jump in the head, I said, Mommy, what time is it? Marsha said, so that means you can't have a relationship after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. How has that affected your life? Well, both my mother fell out, and so did I, and was a girl, Vanity. Remember?
Yeah, Vanity.
Who was so sweet. She was a little broken girl.
Yes, poor baby, and I didn't know how to get her off of. She did a rant that had to be 45 minutes long, and she told us she had this little chest that she had put I don't know, macrame, whatever you call it, all kind of seeds and beads and shells and stuff, and each one of them had significance, and there had to be 14,000 of them. And she told us every one and every bit until they were.
Is this the Vanity that was
a nasty girl? Yeah.
She was a beautiful girl, but just a little broken bird.
So she had repented by that time and had become very spiritual or religious, and
then married a strange man that I knew, and it was not good. It was not good. No, poor baby. But that was the best memory I have. So men know now they can't come to me after a certain time.
After 3 o'clock.
It's over.
Okay. Yeah, Marsha made that clear. So I tell the story all the time. I said, Marsha said, so I can't have a man after 4 o'clock, man.
All right. So you better be meeting people for brunch dates and stuff. It's 3 o'clock. You like turn into a pumpkin.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh my God. Skillz.
Hello?
Okay, go ahead, y'all. Without me for a second.
Okay, you go and work your business, and we'll try to hook back up with you in a minute. Anna.
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay.
See what it's like to come over my house with the family?
Yeah.
I
love him. I love him.
Adorable.
Yeah.
And if you get a chance, go by Lou Nails at Jimmy Kimmel's, and he has his own residency on Friday nights. So if you're in Vegas, here in Vegas,
okay,
and want to go out one weekend, check him out.
Hey, you don't have to give me no free pass. I'll pay.
Okay, well, you can come see me. I'm at the Ice House in Pasadena. Twice a month. I'm in between. And
okay.
So I have a bi-weekly residence, and the next time I'll be there is Mother's Day.
When is Mother's Day?
May 11th. And we're having a 3 o'clock show.
Oh, good. Okay, that's my time.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
If you get a chance, but if you don't make that one, then the following second Sunday, and after that, I'll be there at 7 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Well, I can get somebody to drive with me because I can everywhere I go. Okay.
No, you don't drive either?
I drive, but I don't have good, skills. I get lost.
No. Okay. You can turn me around 3 times in my bathroom, and I won't be able to figure out how to get out.
That might be a Pisces thing because I'm bad. Yeah. So, I don't know what.
And I can't see at night no more, and all them people that go too fast.
Or they drive up right behind you and the light is shining in your face. And I said, no. Yeah.
And that's when I realize I'm old, because I'm fussing like old.
Yeah.
But now it's reasonable.
You need young people as friends. Yes. Okay. Even though you might have to pay for them, but it's okay. I'll pay. Yeah. Well, I'll pay. I'll give you a coffee and a dinner and all of that. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I
Just get me home. Okay.
take care of my little children. So Skillz, are you back? Looking like Marvin Gaye's illegitimate son.
I'm back.
Well, we're gonna work out the language barrier and maybe figure it out next time you come on.
Okay. And the hearing problem.
Yes,
Okay.
we're gonna figure all that out and make
But
it better. Huh?
you're getting a good example of our family dynamic. This is exactly how our family works.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very normal and familiar, but see, we're all here and we're all together and we all.
Well, I am happy to be here with you all. Okay, I really am. This was
now
good.
that you know where we are, stop by anytime.
I will.
What anything you want to talk about? You want to leave us with where we can all see you.
Well, I got it. Well, it's not coming up till Christmas. I did an unexpected Christmas.
Okay.
It's coming out in, I guess, November, whatever. And No Good Deed is still on Netflix.
All right.
Series with Ray Romano and Lisa Kudrow, and some wonderful, wonderful people that I worked with and had a wonderful, wonderful experience. I thought we were going to get picked up for season 2, but season 1 was wonderful. I ain't mad at nobody. All the checks cleared, okay?
There you go. I understand and kind of envy you. So come back again to see me.
I will.
I hope to run into you again somewhere.
I'm going to come and see you.
Please do.
I'm gonna get a ride, not an Uber, but I'm gonna get a ride. Okay.
Just let me know, and we'll roll out the red carpet.
All right, baby. Thank you. Thank you. All right, baby. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. All right, Skillz. We don't know what the fuck you said.
I've been good. I went to see my baby. Hey, Christy.
Hey, Christy.
Went to see her. Went to see her. She has a birthday coming up June 2nd.
He's just blushing in the dark on the camera.
Yeah, so that is.
I'm gonna turn this into a video game. This should be a video game. Guess what Skillz says next? What is the next word in this sentence?
Oh, this weekend I went to a really great show in Pasadena, California called Sunday in the Marshaverse with Marsha Warfield. And I had my favorite peach cobbler at the Ice House while I was watching you perform in an incredible green room that Skillz has got to go to soon. Have you been to the new green room in the Ice House? Oh, that's right. I remember. Sorry, I forgot.
It was memorable.
Yeah, when the three of us performed together before the Marshaverse, I forgot about that.
What should we pull out of our question box? Here's a question from the box.
Here we go.
I feel free when I don't have to worry about money. When I feel like I can do whatever it is I want to do and not have to worry about the money, that's a tremendous luxury for me, because it's not like I want all the time to do luxurious things, but I know what it's like to want a milkshake and not have enough change to be able to buy a milkshake. So freedom to me is not having to worry about money. When I go on stage and I don't have to worry about the financial side of it. I don't, really like to think about it. I have to, and I do, and I try to make sure that my business is taken care of. But if I didn't have to, as long as I know I don't have to think about money, that's all.
I was going to say the very same thing. I feel free when I have enough money, and enough means more than making ends meet. enough means enough to cover everything the whole way from the last paycheck to this paycheck to that paycheck without
thinking about it.
I say the same. I feel the same way.
And that's when when I'm someplace, like I was in the airport yesterday, and my flight was 2 hours away, and I said, well, I'll just go have breakfast. Well, there was a time when I couldn't have said that.
Yeah.
When I would have had to sit in the little hard seats for 2 hours and watch people eat their little sandwiches and drink their Starbucks. And it's that kind of not having to think about it. Do I have enough money in the bank to cover this? I can have breakfast and I don't have to
Right.
think about it. Like if Skillz could keep his lights on, that would be a tremendous freedom.
Let's give Skillz a chance. Skillz, can you hear us? What makes you feel free? You feel free when what? Finish that sentence.
Anytime. I feel free because I take my bottom half off anyway.
So when you ain't got no pants on, you feel free?
When I'm on the toilet, I feel free.
That tracks. That completely tracks.
Before we get out of here, you know that this current administration is on a mission to eliminate black people and then go up the color scale until they get to you. You don't see that coming, but it's coming. Anyway, so they've been cutting back on everything DEI and woke, which in maggot land means black, or anybody who's not on their little guest list. So the latest is they want to clean up the Smithsonian, the freaking Smithsonian. They want to take things out, not because they're not historical, not because they're not true, but because they don't fit the narrative that they want to sell. They want to sell an American story that features them and indoctrinates people in the knowledge, because you say it over and over again, and institutionalizing it becomes knowledge and not just a concept. They want you to keep reinforcing that they are superior. You from the white god to white man to everybody else. And so they want to erase all history, not only of things that they did that were done by white people against other people, but the things that the people they put down accomplished. They don't want anybody to know that. So it creates a much bigger gap in reality that enshrines them in charge for perpetuity. So they're taking out the Greensboro lunch counter. They're taking out all kinds of exhibits of American history. And I've been to the National Museum of African American History and Culture, and I want to go back. I think everybody should go, and I think you should take at least a whole day, because it's 7 floors of packed information that is not only informative, it's emotional. And you get through to the civil rights era and the so-called official launch of it, and you're when you come out, you're spent. You're totally spent. Then they have a serenity room where you sit, and you sit with that. You sit with that discomfort, no matter who you are, no matter how what it does to you. It does something visceral. And you sit with that for a minute, and then you go up into the 60s and 70s. And the cultural explosion that happens in those higher floors, it's like winning the Super Bowl. It's phenomenal. Yeah. And you see it all happening in this vast space, and you see just this explosion of change and progress. It's overwhelming, and you need to see it more than once. You need to invest the time to just really experience it. So they're going to modify it and lie. We owe it to each other to correct the truth, the narrative every time we see it. And so we have to just commit and realize that our words are as powerful as the words they are trying to alter. We have words, we have thoughts, we have the ability to communicate. It is the superpower that launches ships, that rockets, that created everything human beings made. The fact that we can think things that will become things. So let's use our voices, let's use our words, let's keep the narrative honest and authentic because truth varies from person to person. There's your side, my side, and the truth. And then all the witnesses' sides. There's a lot of sides. But if you're authentic and honest, we can come to a place where it's not scary anymore to sit with our history and realize that where we are could be something really, really amazing if we let it and don't let the small percentage of people who want to control everything control what you think because that will guide your actions. So let's be aware of how some people want to tell stories that venerate them, but we have other points of view, and our stories are just as valid. So, on that note, let's have a round of applause for my friend Anna Maria Horsford. Yay! Wasn't she lovely? Lovely.
Yes.
She hit on a lot of history that she would be able to tell us. If we had just sat down across the table over coffee for an hour.
And next week we have
Next week,
comedian.
Yay! We're on a roll here. Next
Yes.
week we have
Ada
brilliant
Rodriguez.
young comedian who's just kicking ass, taking names. She's got a book, she's got a podcast, she's traveling the country, she's a headliner, she's uh, just and she's very smart and aware. And I'm happy that she's gonna be here. Ada Rodriguez will be
Yay.
in yes next week. And then we've got more good people uh, coming after that. We also have good people here. And I'm very happy that we're back. We got the band back together and we're doing this damn thing again. Thank you both for being here, Skillz. We're going to have to talk and get you right, but don't worry, it'll happen. Where you going to be? Can you tell us in sign language where you are going to be?
I'm gonna be at Jimmy Kimmel's this Friday and Sunday and Monday. And also I'm gonna be at, I can't remember, but if they watching this tonight, look on my page, Skillz Hudson.
Okay. And Steven, where
Yes.
you going to be?
I have two events on May 24th. Very exciting. I am the main event in Roastalmania 6. I'll be in a roast battle with the undefeated Joe Calise. It's going to be a crazy roast battle. You should go. It's at Wise Guys in the Arts District here in Las Vegas, May 24th. And then that very same night, I too will be at Jimmy Kimmel's on The Late Show.
All right. Well,
Yes.
I am excited for you, Joe. That could be, and you could be kind of vicious. That could be a very vicious kind of roast battle, and so I wish you well.
Thank you very
All the
much.
best to you.
Steven is vicious, ma.
I know. Oh, that's my son. I'm aware. I'm aware. So thank you for coming, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe,
Please like and subscribe.
comment, tell your friends. Have a watch party. However you want to do to get the word out, so you can come back again and watch us chill and come chill with us. We move too fast in this world, and every once in a while, it's nice to just lay back and have a nice conversation among friends. So thank you for being here tonight. I look forward to talking to you next week. Y'all take it easy. Marsha.
She got away, no one can do it like that. Her own style, no one can wear that hat. Hey, don't you know that the queen is back? She's back, she's back. She withstands the test of time. When it comes to strength, she comes to mind. Knock her down, she gets back.